this is Liliana Brown. Welcome to the Resilient Now podcast. I'm very excited actually, I'm really excited to be in LA because I'm not in Miami. I'm visiting family and friends. So I'm back to LA where I lived for over 30 something years. So just kind of visiting and vacationing a little bit. But I'm really excited because I have Kat here with me today, and she's going to give us an incredible resilience story. But first, I'm going to ask her, what does resilient now mean to you, Kat?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. It's an honor. And to answer your question, being resilient now means whatever you're feeling, it's okay to feel it. Give yourself a time limit, 5 minutes, 1 hour, whatever it is. Then get into action, whether that's getting out of your bed, getting to the gym, meditating, eating something healthy. Do something to get you out of whatever trigger or negative feeling you are having. Because being resilient means pushing past that, not ignoring it. We have to feel the feelings and we have to recognize it, but pushing past it and just keep it moving, keep moving.
Thank you. I did said that to myself, all those things when I was driving in traffic here today.
Welcome to LA.
It's right. It's back to LA traffic. So I'm excited. First of all, this podcast would not exist without you. She's a driving force. Okay. She's the one who set all this up for me. She's magic. We'll tell you at the end how you can locate her because she's magic and she's amazing and she cares about helping people a lot. She just wants to help people, and this is a passion for her too. So I feel honored and privileged that you're even working on this with me. I can't believe I got you. And anyway, I want to hear your resilience story so we can help somebody in the world. Let's go.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy that you're doing this to help people. It's a resource. Anybody who's feeling down or needs a little inspiration can always go to the website or the podcast and listen to all these amazing stories. What I wanted to talk about today, I think like my most resilient story is being a sober DJ. I got sober in 2008. I was DJing in New York City, and it was one of those things where the first person to get a drink is the DJ in a club, in a party, anywhere, right? And so I was DJing like 6 nights a week, and I was drinking every night because I was getting offered free alcohol. And then, it progressed to other things as well. But it really was, I was not going to last long if I kept going like that. I'm a woman, and I don't know, so maybe men can drink more. I don't know, but like for me, it really started taking a toll. And luckily, I had a group of friends who were able to tell me, hey, this is really changing you. And, it's a progressive disease. So alcoholism is a progressive disease, and it gets worse before it gets better. Yeah. So luckily for me, I knew some other women who were sober DJs and some other sober people, and they recommended that I go to Alcoholics Anonymous, which I did. It was really a godsend. So, and when I say God, for me, that's like the universe, that's like positive energy, it's nature. I have a very big picture of God for myself. You can call it Buddha, you can call it, positive energy, you can call it whatever you want, you can call it, Jesus, whatever it is for you. But for me, it's something that I was able to tap into and say, like, I don't know what's happening. I'm going to just take the direction. Some people say that God is good, orderly direction. And I was able to recover from alcoholism and quit drinking and, using and just being sober. And so the resilience part of that is every time that I felt like drinking, or every time I would just, pray, like, universe, please help me through this. I would call people, I would use the tools, I would pick them up and use the tools. And little by little, it was like, one gig, next gig, next gig. And it just like, it became, I embodied it. For me now, like, I can't even imagine having a hangover. I will never have to have a hangover. And it improved my DJing because right when I got sober, I ended up getting signed to a record thing with a deal with Sony Australia. And I had an EP that came out. My old DJ name was DJ Cat NYC. because my name was Katherine and everyone called me Kat. And I lived in New York and I needed a website. And so they were like, you're going to be DJ Kat, NYC. That was my first DJ name.
Okay.
And then from that, I moved to LA and then I became Kat XX because the whole Kat Von D thing was like really big. You remember that show, the ink show, whatever. So it was KAT. And then I thought XX because it'd be cute, like a, kiss kiss. So it was Kat XX. And then I ended up moving to Europe and I lived in Ibiza and I lived in Berlin. And when I lived in Europe, my manager was like, you cannot be Kat XX because it sounds porno.
Just a little.
For Europeans. I was like, that's triple X, not it. So she's like, no. So I ended up changing it to Katie Otro. And, Mexican, my mom's Hispanic. And so Otro means another in Spanish. And then Katie is what my grandfather used to call me. Okay. Plus, Katie's very English. There's a lot of Katies and Kates. So it was Katie Otro, another Katherine. And then that's just what I've been DJing with since like 2014 or something like that for a while now. So cool. Yeah, so it's been a journey and hasn't always been easy. And now like instead of, reaching for, that, I mean, it's elevated to, no more reaching for a drink, but reaching, for a candy bar or a pizza or whatever. Like now I have tools to help me to reach for something that's healthy for me and good for me. And especially with DJing, there's a lot of people out there who feel like they can't perform unless they're high or drunk. They can't sing, they can't DJ, they can't play a show, whatever it is. They need something to calm their nerves. And really, it's just a practice. It's a practice of learning how to use that muscle. And once you do, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's like, oh, tonight, I just needed Red Bull. And then I needed, a Sprite. And then I moved on to like green tea. And then now I don't need sugar to, it's just like an evolution.
That's great. That's really great. And you get to live forever or a long time.
Yes.
So, and a clean life is beautiful. So thank you. So I wanted to ask you, so you've shared a lot of, amazing things and hopefully I know it's going to help people, but what is something in your gratitude, like your top gratitude thing right now? Like if you they can turn your day around because it just makes you so happy.
For me, I'm really grateful that my parents were so versatile in their lives where, my mother, she was going to medical school in Mexico and then she met my father and then she moved here and they started a shrimping business. And they also had so many different businesses. I learned that you get to pivot, right? And so they had a bus station, they had a package delivery service, they had a balloon store, they had a vintage clothing store. They had so many businesses. And so I was really grateful that I learned that work ethic from them. And if something doesn't work, you just pivot and you start something else and pivot and you start something else. So I'm grateful for that knowledge because especially during the pandemic, whenever DJing went away overnight, luckily I was able to pivot into my marketing business, which is how this all came about.
Right.
And
the websites, what's the name of the company that you
Designed to Manifest? And so I just started helping people. I've done so many amazing projects. I worked with Tastemakers Media and they do all of the podcast productions for Kevin Hart and the LL network on Sirius XM. And I've gotten to do so many amazing things, just with podcasting. Lana Negretti, who's now the mayor of Santa Monica. I did her political campaign. I was the campaign coordinator whenever she was running for city council. Okay. And that was really cool. So I'm really grateful that I'm able to pivot and I don't just stay stuck. And that's part of being resilient is just being able to pivot and move. And if something doesn't work, a relationship doesn't work out, get up, start again. A job doesn't work out, get up, start again, start something new. A friendship ends, okay, just keep going. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to learn that at a very young age, that if you are stuck or something's not working, to keep going and not to give up.
So don't give up. And sobriety is amazing. Sobriety, you can have an amazing life. Look at all the things she gets to do sober. So thank you so much, Kat, for being here. Oh my God, I love you so much.
I love you too.
All right, you guys, stay resilient now.